right now on 5 on your side at 10.
Trading cards. Tonight, big changes to the Cardinals pitching staff.
It's a decent amount of talent that just walked through the door. Walked out.
But are the Redbirds done selling with just hours left until the trade deadline?
Quiet today, but stormy tomorrow. I'm tracking it out for you.
Our top story, wicked winds.
Sitting at home watching TV and storm rolled through. Next thing I know, there's a tree laying on my roof.
Tonight, the area is still cleaning up and left in the dark more than 24 hours after the storm.
Good evening, I'm Mark Maxwell. Mike Bush has the night off. Tonight, more than 16,000 homes on both sides of the river remain without power. Our Laura Barcheski takes us to a neighborhood in O'Fallon, Missouri, where almost every other house is cleaning up.
Saturday afternoon, Nathan Coach was watching TV at home inside, while outside,
Storm rolled through. Next thing I know, there's a tree laying on my roof. Super extensive damage. Broke through some of the trusses. There's a big giant hole. Drywall still falling out of the ceiling in the kitchen. So
suddenly it was raining inside too.
every towel in the house to soak up all the water. We just got done washing and drying them all. It was terrible.
He says they lived there for 19 years and the timing couldn't be worse.
We just had the siding put on like a month ago.
Trees came down all over the O'Fallon Forest Park neighborhood and power went out all over town, making it a busy night for O'Fallon Fire.
Just constant radio traffic on our radio for calls, but there were times when they had trouble seeing the road just because of the sheer force of the wind and the rain.
Just 4 minutes away, Luke Dofing heard a crash he really didn't expect.
I don't know if it was wind, like the strong winds that caught the tree, heard a loud crack, went back there, was leaning on the power lines, and then about every 5 minutes you would hear a crack, crack, and it just came down. Smashed the playhouse and the fence and brought the power lines and the power pole down. It was a mess.
If you have a down power line around your house, the O'Fallon Fire Department wants you to call them right away so they can come secure the line before Ameren is able to get there so no one gets hurt.
We want to make sure that nobody's touching those lines, make sure they're not down on fences. We got a lot of metal fences in this area.
Dofing says the power service lines were even ripped out of his house and he has no idea when it's going to be fixed.
Having the generator, that makes it nice. Have a couple fans rolling inside and the fridge works, freezer works, so that makes a difference.
Reporting in O'Fallon, Laura Barcheski, 5 on your side.
If you need assistance with debris removal, the city of O'Fallon says call the Environmental Services Department at 636-272-0477. Leave a message. They'll start returning those calls tomorrow. And those 70 to 80 mile per hour winds also blew through St. Louis County. There were several reports of damages and large trees down in the area of Manchester Road in Kirkwood and Maplewood. And in the Metro East, a large tree branch fell onto a home's carport in Waterloo, Illinois. A similar thing happened at a home in Columbia, Illinois. There are no reports of any serious injuries. All quiet tonight, plus we're getting a break from the extreme heat and humidity, but we do have more chances of storms this week. Meteorologist Tracy Hinson joins us now with the Weather First forecast. Tracy?
Oh, and thank goodness we're looking at some cooler weather. I was just about ready to quit St. Louis for 2 weeks until that settled down. But the good news is this week is looking really nice. Our high today was 90 degrees, which is right on average for us, which is tolerable. 104, not tolerable. 90, we can take that. 73 was our low. Our average low is 71, so today was pretty much average for us. Over the next 12 hours here, our temperatures will slowly drop down into the low 70s, so not a big cool down, but a cool down enough. And then tomorrow we will see some spotty showers, pretty limited, and then that'll pick up towards the afternoon. Temperatures will land in the mid 80s. Coming up, I will detail those showers for you in a few minutes.
All right, Tracy, thanks. And a live look at Busch Stadium. Just about 30 hours left until the Major League Baseball trade deadline. The Cardinals front office, they've been busy trading away some top pitching. Corey Miller joins us now with a breakdown of the big names no longer wearing the birds on the bat tonight. Corey.
That's right, Mark. We all knew the sell-off was coming for the Cardinals, and now it's here. The team made 2 big deals today, trading away a few pending free agent pitchers. First, the Cardinals sent their flame-throwing closer, Jordan Hicks, to the Blue Jays for 2 pitching prospects. Shortly after that, they dealt starter Jordan Montgomery and reliever Chris Stratton to Texas for 2 pitching prospects and an infield prospect. And according to John Mozeliak, this could just be the beginning.
I wouldn't rule anything out today. You know, again, like I do feel like to some level, I feel like today it's over. It's not. I mean, there's time. We got to reassess, and if there's a baseball trade to happen, we should be open-minded to it.
We'll have more from Mo Oliver Marmol and Jordan Montgomery himself in Sports Plus after the news. Mark.
All right, Corey, a pair of Jordans missing at Busch Stadium. All right, tonight, crews are working to fix a water main break in North St. Louis that caused a sinkhole. Take a look at this. A car got stuck in the mess along near the Federal Center on Goodfellow this morning. She says it happened fast and without warning.
We were just on our way to church, and there was so much water before we got there. So we really didn't see how deep it was.
The city tells us this is the 12th water main break at this location. They hope to have repairs finished tonight. And tonight, the St. Louis Fire Department's bomb and arson squad is investigating the cause of a fire that heavily damaged a South City church. The fire broke out at Mount Olive Lutheran Church on Shaw Boulevard around 5 this morning. There are no reports of any injuries. This week, the Archdiocese of St. Louis will begin its restructuring plan known as All Things New. Over the next few years, 178 parishes will consolidate into 134. Today, several of those congregations celebrated their final Sunday Mass. Our Mercedes McKay takes us to St. Matthew the Apostle in the historic Ville neighborhood.
It takes time to adjust, but it's always good.
Since 1893, many in the Ville neighborhood have spent their Sundays here.
It was the only church we went to when I was young. Yeah, I made my first communion here.
At 98 years old, June Clifton is back, sitting in the church where two of her sisters got married.
It just starts bringing back memories.
Similar to June, Ruby D. Carter grew up inside St. Matthew the Apostle Catholic Church, walking through these pews since 1955.
It means a lot, especially when you're my age.
Sunday's morning service comes as this Jesuit church would be celebrating its 130th anniversary.
Getting ready to cry in a few minutes. Yeah, I just love it.
Between the candles and the stained glass, a feeling of bittersweetness filled the church.
It'll be painful to do it, but that's at the heart of our faith.
Due to the Archdiocese All Things New plan, St. Matthew the Apostle is merging with 4 other parishes to create a brand new one. But that wasn't the only change coming.
The Jesuits have been here for 64 years, and this is the end of that.
Through every prayer spoken, Teresa Rice Skurlock reflects on the highs and lows she's experienced inside this sanctuary.
This community has meant a lot to me. You know, I was married from this church. I've buried loved ones from this church.
Even though change can be difficult, Skurlock is hopeful for what's to come.
It hasn't been easy, but we made it, and we're going to make it.
Mercedes McKay, 5 on your side.
The pastor will propose a permanent name for the new parish. Parishioners told us they still do not know what church will house the new parish. For the time being, it will be St. Matthew's the Apostle. A live look at Interstate 64 in Town and Country. In less than 2 hours, a major closure will get underway that will affect access to Mercy and Missouri Baptist hospitals. MoDOT crews will shut down the eastbound exit ramp to Ballas Road at midnight. It will remain closed for 2 months during repair work. Drivers will have to get off at the Spady exit and access Ballas through westbound 64.
Shipping shut down. Tonight, new developments in the financial woes for one of the nation's largest freight companies. They're not stopping to smell the roses at the Missouri Botanical Garden tonight.
And it's not really smelling much yet, but I'm thinking it must be because I've had a few flies.
The putrid plant drawing late-night crowds. How you can get a whiff for free.
A reprieve in the heat. It's hitting tomorrow. I'll tell you how long it will last.
Yellow is too deep in the red. Tonight, signs posted outside loading docks at one of the nation's largest freight companies, Yellow, like this one in Soulard, say it is shutting down operations. The company officially served legal notice to the Teamsters Union today that it will file for bankruptcy. Teamsters says the union will help affected members get the assistance they need to find good union jobs throughout freight and other industries. To the campaign trail now, as his Republican challengers stump in early voting states, President Biden hit the beach. The president and first lady kicked back under an umbrella at Rehoboth Beach in Delaware today, while the scrum of GOP presidential hopefuls scrambled to break out of the pack at events in early voting states like Iowa and New Hampshire. Ron DeSantis, Nikki Haley, Tim Scott, and former Vice President Mike Pence all headlining various events this weekend as they look to make a dent in former President Donald Trump's early lead. Trump rallying voters, meanwhile, in the swing state of Pennsylvania, while railing against possible criminal charges that still could come down in Georgia against him as early as next month. There, Fulton County Prosecutor Fani Willis says her office is nearing a decision on whether to charge Mr. Trump for attempting to overturn the 2020 election.
Well, I mean, I've made a commitment to the American people, but most importantly, the citizens of Fulton County, that we were going to be making some big decisions regarding the election investigation, and that I would do that before September the 1st of 2023, and I'm going to hold true to that commitment. The work is accomplished. I mean, we've been working for 2.5 years, and we're ready to go.
Former President Trump asked a judge to disqualify the Fulton County prosecutor as she prepares possible racketeering charges. Trump is scheduled to stand trial in March in a New York hush money case where he faces 34 counts of falsifying business records and faces new federal charges for attempting to destroy evidence of the whereabouts of classified documents at Mar-a-Lago. This time next year, the Summer Olympics will be underway in Paris. You'll see all the excitement of the games right here on 5 on Your Side. Tonight, reporter Scott Swan and photojournalist Steve Rhodes from our Tegna station WTHR traveled across France to bring us this sneak peek of the host country.
There's no monument so highly connected with a place like the Eiffel Tower. It's so iconic. It's a must. It's a must. You can't avoid it.
Cafe, Seine River.
What is there not to love about Paris?
I think there's a feeling, like everyone has a nostalgic feeling for Paris.
People travel the world to come here to see this.
Bring something out in everyone's imagination, and then you get here and it's true to form.
Hello, my name is Veronica Antonelli. I'm a opera singer and I reveal the souls of monuments. Welcome in Montmartre. It's like street art, something that appears at a certain time and then it's finished.
The reason that we use the sand of Omaha Beach is we know how much American blood was spilled on that sand. We commemorate almost 12,000 soldiers here.
There's a very special link with Normandy and America. You were liberators, you know. We want to be grateful, thankful, I think, in my opinion. I hope you feel this.
So how many castles are in the Loire Valley?
That's a good question.
Images we all have of the south of France, beautiful landscapes, historic villages, the lavender fields, and the French Riviera as well, obviously. The playground for the rich and famous.
Here we grow 6 kinds of grapes.
They say that the really great vineyards in France were created by monks.
And it's one village after another. So quaint, so sweet, and it's just so real.
It's just full of inspiration. It has been like that for hundreds of years.
That's just a glimpse of what we saw in the Olympic host country. More coverage from France coming up next summer.
Something to look forward to there. All right, we have a live look tonight at the Missouri Botanical Garden where late-night crowds are gathering. Take a look. After a 16-day wait, it's finally here. Octavia, the corpse flower, is starting to bloom. That means things are starting to smell. The large plant started to bloom earlier today, and it should hit peak bloom anytime now. That's when it will likely give off a rather intense odor mimicking rotting flesh. Think The Walking Dead. Crowds earlier tonight didn't notice much of a stench, but garden staff says, oh, it's coming.
Oh, people aren't just a little disappointed when it doesn't smell. People are greatly disappointed. I think that it gets built up that they just smell so bad that they're just so disappointed. It's not really smelling much yet, but I'm thinking it must be because I've had a few flies.
A few flies there. All right, well, with peak bloom and smell coming very soon, the Botanical Garden is opening its gates from 10:30 until 12:30 tonight, and Tracy Hinson, admission is free. I don't know how one of our reporters can score one of those assignments to go there and describe the sights and smells of that rotting flesh flower.
I've seen a few of those, and last year I waited 2 hours with Sarah, Maki, and Justina because they wanted to see the corpse flower.
Yeah.
And as we got in, they couldn't handle it. And I'm like, you guys, we waited 2 hours. You guys are gonna see this thing.
Bust out the lexicon. Got to conjure up some colorful adjectives to describe the smells to people that might, can't make the trip out there, I suppose.
You know what? They say corpse, but I think it really just smells like a really bad porta potty, like a really bad one on a really hot day. It is.
I don't know that they're going to be selling many of those candles.
And what makes it worse is the corpse flower is in one of their most humid locations. Last year it was in the Climatron, which is what's behind me, and this year it's in the greenhouse. So it's humid on top of that smell, makes it even worse. The flower itself, though, is stunning. Now, I think a better thing to go out and look at the Missouri Botanical Garden is Chihuly in the garden. It does not smell, and it's beautiful glass. Who wouldn't love that? And the view of the Climatron in the background. Current temperature-wise, it's still kind of hot for summertime, pretty typical though for us. It's 75 in St. Charles, 74 for Chesterfield, and 74 for Scott Air Force Base. For us tonight, we're looking at 70 degrees, cooler conditions, nice light winds outside, so pretty still. That means quite a bit in terms of mosquitoes. Temperatures will make it into the upper 80s as we head into tomorrow. Comfortable. That'll feel downright like fall compared to what we dealt with last week, so that'll feel good. We will have some showers that will roll through closer to 5 o'clock at night. So let's go ahead and go over the storm outlook. This will be one of those days that if you're one of my northern counties, you're like, I didn't get any rainfall. Well, listen up, this one's for you because I don't expect you to get rainfall, but other spots I do expect to see rain. So this will track through. You can see that kind of southerly pattern there as it heads into Monday morning. Now look at this, see some spots here, not everyone in the rainfall, still some heavier rain further down to the south, still some spots to the north, not getting much in the way there, but we still have that rainfall south of Interstate 70 that's pretty consistent, and then that gets out of the way as we set up towards Tuesday. Now let's go ahead and take a look at your 10-day forecast here for you. We are looking at cooler conditions, and it looks like we're going to stay at average. Thank goodness. We deserve it. 83 on Tuesday, 86 for Wednesday, and look at those percentages there. 60% of us in the rain on Tuesday, 80% on Wednesday. Those are some pretty rainy days ahead for us. I hope our farmers are doing okay because I know a lot are cutting hay right now or starting to harvest, and we need dry conditions for that. That we can look forward to later on in the week. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, just a 20% chance of spot showers. Our hottest day of the week is Friday at 94, still 10 degrees cooler than what we forecast last week, so that's a positive there. Early morning and overnights, unfortunately, if your AC is out or something like that, we're not getting a lot of those cool nights to really let that fresh air in. We're only going to be dropping down into the low 70s over the next 10 days.
Anything under triple digits feels like a reprieve at this point.
Oh, thank goodness.
Tracy, thanks. Tonight, gas prices are on the rise, but could a stop at the air pump save you at the gas pump? We verify. Tonight, gas prices are at an 8-month high. The national average has jumped 15 cents in the last week to $3.75 per gallon. Experts blame production cuts overseas and the extreme heat for the increase. Here in St. Louis, drivers are paying an average of $3.42 a gallon. That's only 6 cents more than last week. Over in the Metro East, prices have jumped 18 cents in the last week to $3.83 a gallon. With gas prices headed back up, drivers are looking for ways to cut costs. Tonight, the Verified team looks into one trick that could help you save at the pump. Here's Brandon Lewis.
Gas prices are high across the country, and some on social media are claiming that changing your tire pressure would help increase the mileage and reduce cost. So let's verify. Can properly inflating your tires help improve your gas mileage? Our sources are the U.S. Department of Energy, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, and Sean Huff, staff researcher at Oak Ridge National Laboratory. According to the DOE, the correct PSI, or pounds per square inch of tire pressure, can boost your gas mileage up to 3%. With the current price of gas across the country, that's the equivalent of saving more than 10 cents per gallon of gas. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration also said properly inflating your tires can save you money, but only 19% of drivers actually do so.
As the tire pressure goes down below the optimum pressure, the tire deforms or flattens. And as the tire flattens, then it's more difficult for the tire to roll on the pavement. And then that, of course, requires more energy to move the vehicle down the road.
So we can verify, yes, properly inflated tires can improve your car's fuel economy. To find your car's correct PSI, you'll need to check the sticker inside the driver's side door. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
What would you like us to verify? Send us an email. Let us know at verify@kstk.com. These buds are for a good cause. The beer's turning into bucks for some military families. This week's Mega Millions drawing could be called Mega Billions. The jackpot has now surpassed $1 billion. It's tied for the game's fourth largest prize ever. The next drawing is Tuesday night. Folds of honor made a pitch before today's Cardinals game. Founder and CEO Lieutenant Colonel Dan Rooney threw out the first pitch to launch the new Budweiser Camo Can. Proceeds from sales of these cans will go towards scholarships for families of fallen or wounded service members and first responders. That's all of our time for 5 on your side at 10. Start your day with Today in St. Louis starting at 4 o'clock in the morning. Now, here's Corey Miller with Sports Plus.